Hello, I am Regdrin, and I'm apparently a space admiral now.
Well, I'm Stone of Triumph, and that sounds like an ish you, not an ish me.
Well, so much responsibility. For this next battle, we have another anomaly. There's only one. Engine speeds reduced by 25%. But this actually had a fairly large effect on certain things, to the point that I had to change my ship design. You know those pulse cruisers that I love to use?
You mean the ones that rely on speed to get in close?
Yes, they couldn't get close fast enough on this map.
Shocking.
Not close enough to use their weapons, anyway. So I had to go to the Shark design and create something that I thought I never would. A rocket-based cruiser.
Really now?
Yeah, I'm hoping they do better as a frontliner than as a midliner.
Well,
I gave them a target booster, so maybe they'll hit more. Although, I'm not entirely sure that targeting is the problem with these rocket launchers. You've seen how they behave.
Yep.
More importantly, I gave them EMP cannons so that they'll at least tie up the enemy front line for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna rely on my back line fairly heavily for this one. Although, the main reason I chose rocket launchers is because I needed a front line that could bust shields, and rockets can theoretically do that.
Mm-hmm.
I did not, however, have enough room in this design to give them much armor, which may be a problem.
For a frontliner.
For a frontliner, yes.
Let's think about that for a moment.
Well, I prefer not to think about it and just head into the battle.
Okay, so the Chaos Nebula.
The Chaos Nebula, which is an odd description for a nebula where everything is slowed down.
So,
what am I gonna do? Against this lineup, I think I'd like to beat up the top portion of the map, those 3 lonely cruisers, quickly so I can deal with the rest
in your own time.
In my own time. Well, everything is done in its own time on this map.
So, rockets.
I think I'll need 5 of these. This is a considerably large map.
Shoot.
Let's see. This is... Yep, these are all rocket cruisers. You can just select mass deploy and then just click a few times.
Oh, I've done that a few times.
Yeah, I also created another ship that I didn't have time to show off, the Tractor Frigate. I don't like putting tractor beams on cruisers because the slots are too valuable, but tractor beams on frigates are pretty effective. You can field a lot of them. Well, I'm going to field 3, and that honestly will be enough. The thing is, my dogfighters also had trouble in this map for reasons you can probably figure out.
Yeah.
Fighters who rely completely on their speed, and also my fighters were not very good in the first place. Alliance fighters are not the best.
Correct. So what other cruisers do you have in mind?
Well, I actually plan to rely on my frigates quite a bit. As I said, I need a good backline, and unlike the fighters, we've pretty much established that Alliance frigates are actually pretty darn good.
Okay.
And of course, the missile cruisers, since you asked, are going up there. A bit further up than usual because, once again, slow.
Okay.
Yeah, just making sure that my ranges are correct.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to bring at least a couple of beam cruisers once I find them.
Bug.
They are bugs.
So are you bringing any fighters, though?
Yes, I'm going to bring some rocket fighters.
Okay.
I hope they will provide the extra punch that I need.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't field a whole lot of them. Just fielding 3 squads almost puts me towards running out of pilots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot how strict this game was with fighters. And to keep my frigates, my anti-fighter frigates alive, I'm going to have them escort my missile cruisers. That should keep them from rushing the enemy frigates and cruisers. They wouldn't last very long if they did that. Gonna keep them on a fairly tight leash as well.
And what about the rest of your frigates?
Those aren't gonna take orders because they're already set to attack at long enough range that they'll mostly stay behind my frontliners.
Okay.
That's the theory, anyway.
That's the idea. So, let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Oh, I should probably tell these to escort my cruiser, shouldn't I?
But they're daredevils.
Here comes a daredevil! Don't be a daredevil in this game, though. At least not in that way. You can be a daredevil with your general fleet design and the number of ships you send. But we've seen several times what happens when you send your fighters in ahead of everything else.
Yes. Okay.
And... right. I think that's enough explaining for now. Let's go.
Beep.
Now, I'm gonna set the speed as high as it's gonna go, because
It's gonna take a while for anything to get anywhere at any time.
our ships are not in a hurry, and neither are theirs.
Wait, how many tractor beams did you put on those frigates?
3 each.
Okay.
It works well enough.
Interesting.
In fact, fielding 3 of those roughly costs the same as 1 squad of dogfighters, and I think the frigates might be better at it.
Okay.
So that might... The drawback being is that when freed up, the anti-fighter frigates won't go and swarm enemy ships. Which is pretty handy when their defenses have been knocked off.
Okay, here come the enemy frigates and
Yep,
cruisers and everything.
Yeah, well, we don't have to worry too much about the early frigates. We've seen that song and dance enough, probably. But let's turn down the speed just a little bit, since actual stuff is starting to happen.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about our back line here, actually.
Yeah, looks like somehow everything's working together just fine.
Yep, looks like we're dealing the damage so far. Yeah, the more I play with Alliance Plasma frigates, the more I like them. They fire a bunch and they're not too inaccurate. And looks like, even though we're pretty heavily outnumbered on the lower side, we're doing okay so far.
What's really going to be important is how quickly your top group sweeps out their opposition.
Yeah. I mean, they're not really in danger of being wiped out, but the cruisers are taking a little while to go down. I think that's because my missile cruiser hasn't really gotten in range yet. You can see that firing line slowly creeping up, and I don't like this map.
Well, your guys down here can hold out for a little while at least.
Yeah, they're actually doing pretty well. Because we actually have missile support over here, and it's doing pretty well.
And fighter support.
Yeah. In fact, our shields are still holding up quite well.
Except for that one.
Okay, except for that one. Behold my tentacles is not long for this world. Looks like the enemy is using some plasma as well.
Yeah, they have two...
Yeah, this is pretty much a dedicated plasma cruiser here. I see 4 of them in the back.
Yep.
That's less scarier to me than the same number of missile launchers, though. Speaking of which... Okay, looks like this missile launcher is finally shooting. And Leviathan here is in trouble, but so are my cruisers. It looks like my frontliners have buckled, and, well, it's not pretty.
Yes. Well, don't worry, they're getting help.
Yeah. This looks a little bit iffy, though.
Well, we should probably wait and see what actually happens.
That's true. I mean, we're not quite done yet. If I was gonna change my formation, how would I do it?
I don't know.
Well, this is going to matter for expert. Well, we're actually ahead in total health, which is a pretty good sign because as you noted, we start pretty outnumbered here. And we're going to free up some of their fighters to swarm us, but I think we still have a tractor frigate left, so we should be able to survive it.
I think you've got this one.
Yeah, it looks like my beam frigates are starting to put down the DPS here.
Yep, there's the tractor.
Yeah, some of them are actually surviving. Oh no, we actually have 2 of our tractor frigates, so I think we'll be fine.
Yep.
And on this side, let's see. Our beam cruisers are doing an okay job, but it seems like they're kind of dealing the least damage here. But that's not too bad.
We'll see what the actual statistics say.
Yeah, that's a good point. Oh, it looks like we're starting to swarm them now. Oh, no, wait, those are theirs. Sorry. Yeah. I keep forgetting the fighter design.
And here they come, doing nothing.
Ooh, wow. Those fighters don't last long when they're grappled like that.
Well, you did it.
Ooh, that was a little scary, but...
That's the way the game is played.
Yeah. Yep. The missile cruiser, not surprisingly, has worked pretty well. Man, it's amazing how many weapons you can pile on those.
Yep.
Yeah, looks like, as usual, even though this is not a speed map, avoiding damage seems to have helped us a lot.
Well, they were using a lot of plasma.
That's true.
Okay, next is expert mode.
Yeah, not sure what'll happen here. So how would I alter my layout? I'm thinking maybe one less rocket squad and one more rocket cruiser would be good here.
Okay.
That still leaves a little bit of budget shortfall. But I'm a little hesitant to throw out a frigate.
Right.
Well, the enemy fighter presence wasn't really huge, so maybe getting rid of a tractor frigate would be okay. Maybe 2 will be enough.
Okay.
Let's try this. And let's take a look at the enemy formation, because that might have an effect on... Looks like they're highly grouped up
On both sides.
on the top and a small amount in the middle. This could actually be good for us. This could be better for us than the formation in hard mode, actually.
So, want
We'll
to
have to
speed it
see. Well, yeah. Oh, it looks like they have their cloaking devices set to go off whenever they're ready, which might also be an advantage for us.
up? Okay. Okay, looks like enemy fighters are coming in.
Yeah, but these are slow fighters, so we can ignore them. Man, that's a waste of resources. Same for the frigates, of course.
Well, those are very cheap frigates.
I don't know, putting that many beam lasers on them seems... well, whatever. Let's set it down to a mere 2 times speed, like I did last time. And looks like I'm actually hitting with my rockets, which is amazing. Wow. Okay. This is actually going extremely well. They aren't even really having a chance to fight back.
Yeah, their front line didn't actually consist of that many ships, so...
Well, it's more like they have ships, but they're staggered out with different engine speeds and probably not very good orders. That's my take on it.
Yep.
And if the battle keeps looking like this, I'm thinking maybe expert mode and hard mode should be swapped. I mean, granted, they have a lot of total health, but look at how it's working out.
Yeah, you haven't really taken any damage.
Yeah, I'm kinda... It looks like our rockets are overwhelming their point defense as well.
Yep. Well, there's a lot of them.
And on this side, so we got... It's actually mostly even numbers-wise down here. So I'm not too worried about that side of it either. Look at all those projectiles, though.
Yeah, it's like you're combining all of these missile launchers with all of these rocket launchers.
And the beamers haven't even reached the front line yet. Which is okay. Although I'm not sure how much they'll actually be able to contribute if things keep going like this. If I was going to do this over, maybe I'd replace the beam frigates with more plasma. Or maybe just take a couple away. Yeah, the beamers seem to work better when coupled with pulse cruisers, and I, for reasons we've discussed, can't really do that.
Yep. Because they're too slow. Oh, whoops.
Well, we were gonna lose one eventually.
You're all heart, Commander.
There might be a species like that out there. Alright, this is, it's going to... Oh, we got the lower group moving up. They haven't really been able to exert themselves fully yet, but that's only a matter of time, I think.
Well, I don't foresee that many problems.
Yeah, we've cleaned up on the top side, and they're heading forward, although who knows how long that's gonna take.
They are equipped with lots of long-range weapons.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe our plasma frigates will be able to start to influence the field soon. Plasma... Did I say plasma cruisers?
No.
Okay, good. Looks like that beam frigate kinda got isolated. I said beam frigate that time, though, didn't I?
Yes.
Okay. I need to be more consistent with names.
Looks like the plasma frigates are kind of carrying this one.
Yeah. Decent speed and long range seemed like a pretty good combination for this map, especially considering that since enemies are slowed down, they're probably not as good at dodging plasma as they would normally be. Okay, we don't have too much of a front line right now. It's kind of getting torn up, actually.
Well, you can...
It's not the worst, though. We're at least putting some damage on them.
Yeah, plus everything else is finally catching up.
Yeah, we got another rocket cruiser heading up. Oh, looks like our fighters have been freed up, and actually...
Oh, that's over.
Oh, that's over. We didn't even have the time to see them do their thing.
Okay, so you got it?
Yes, we do. And just as he said, the plasma frigate carried it.
I have an eye for this sort of thing.
Yeah, and considering our damage chart, they didn't even miss that much.
Mm-hmm.
And removing a tractor frigate was probably a good idea.
Yeah. I wonder how the game tracks effectiveness of tractor frigates or something like that.
Oh, you mean like tractor beams? I don't know, actually. They didn't... even when there were enemy fighters, those ships didn't do much damage on their own.
Okay.
Well, I'm actually kind of curious. Let's eliminate our other ships and check our accuracy on those guys.
It keeps going up. No, wait, the damage keeps going up.
Yeah, actually.
Get rid of those fighters, too.
So they were extremely accurate. Most of their shots hit, which is unusual.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that was that battle.
Yeah, that covers that. Now we're going to do something a little bit different for the next battle, but before we cover that, let's first have a word from our sponsors. This time our sponsors are the Space Fashion Gurus, who specialize in equipment that is mostly for decoration. To that end, we are going to cover fighter armor. Take it away.
Some people say that armor is wasted on small, fast ships like fighters, but sometimes you only need to survive a single lucky shot. This armor gives you a second chance. Fighter armor. They'll never see it coming.
And we have a couple more fighter armor pieces to show off. Fighter armor, Mark III. There are still some admirals who cling to a dream that fighter pilots will make it to the end of a battle. And Mark III armor is the armor of choice for those people.
We don't use fighter armor.
We especially don't use heavy fighter armor. When we do, we usually use this. Ablative armor. Super lightweight armor that can realistically only absorb a single impact before disintegrating. I use armor on my rocket fighters usually.
Okay.
Because they don't need to have a power generator, which frees up a spot, and weight for armor.
Okay.
That's why rocket fighters tend to survive towards the end, but heavy armor has very little to do with it. Well, you get the idea.
Yes. Anyway, that's it.
That's it. Next time, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to explain the Empire, since that's going to feature as our antagonist in the battle, but playing as Empire ourselves would be a little weird, so we're going to try one of the first races that were introduced later as DLC. Although there's plenty of large packages of this game by now that you can just get the game and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be interesting.
It should.
We'll see what I do with the new faction later.
All right. See you then.
See you next time.